So do you reckon anyone would have heard of this game that we're talking about today, Fox?
What do you reckon, Ix?
Look, I think it's slowly building up. It's one of those things that people might start hearing about through friends and family, but I don't know if it's ever going to take off.
Yeah.
It's not like it's going to get a South Park episode or something.
Hi guys, welcome to episode 4 of Ding, the MMO podcast where we talk about all things massively multiplayer. I am joined here today by my wonderful co-host, Dr. Fox.
Ahoy.
I am, of course, Darth Kcaj, and today we have a special guest. Please welcome Ix to the show. Ix, thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Not a problem. It is a pleasure to be here.
So today, guys, look, we've got a big game, and I think it's definitely good that we've brought in a third person for this because I don't know how we'd tackle this any other way. Fox, what do we got today?
We have World of Warcraft's new expansion, Legion, and the reason we say it's big is because in just 2 patches, it has had more content than the entire previous expansion. Warlords of Draenor was Warlords of Disappointment. But now we have Legion, and honestly, Ix, what do you think about it?
It's been huge. As of time of recording, we've already gotten a new patch with, a new Mythic 5-man dungeon, some new mounts and pets, new reps, and we've only been out 2 months now, if that, 2 maybe 3.
Yeah, we got a massive content patch, and look, the game is just feeling really meaty right now.
So today, it's really good because we've got a full spectrum of all perspectives we could possibly have from this game. Myself, being a self-proclaimed casual or MMO newbie, I have never played Warcraft before, World of Warcraft before, not once. So I've seen all the marketing materials and I've seen a lot of gameplay, but I've never actually picked up the game. Then next up the rank, we have Fox.
Oh, I'm a guild leader, pretty casual stuff, mostly hitting 5-man content, occasionally hitting 10-man stuff for fun, and just hitting all the rest of the content, like questing and stuff, really hardcore. And then we have Ix.
I'm up there doing the raiding on a regular basis, trying to push progress and doing all the fun stuff, farming mats, getting all the consumables ready, and wiping, getting
you make it sound
down.
So fun.
It is. It's great fun. I promise.
I guess just to kick us off, if you guys could just explain to me this insane maelstrom of hype that I have just seen building up to this event. Like someone from me who has very little experience with WoW, even I know that Legion is a big deal. Tell me, what did you guys think of the hype leading up to this release?
The hype came more from desperation, I think. We were having a major problem with Warlords of Draenor. If you would like to learn more about that, feel free to check our first episode. What do you reckon, Ix?
Definitely speaking from a rating perspective, it was something where we were like, this is really, really starting to drag. When Hellfire Citadel, the last raid for Warlords came out, that was great, and it was new, it was exciting. Some of the bosses were cool, some of the lore was quite cool, but it eventually got very, very samey, and a lot of Legion was, please give us something new.
A lot of Warlords, you mean?
Yeah, you know what I mean.
So this release was also a combination of the hype, but also at the same time just a release of the frustration that players had been feeling. But it's definitely worth it, right? It's not possible that they've overhyped it. You guys have definitely enjoyed it as it's come out, yeah?
It's like climaxing.
But slightly cleaner.
I would hope so.
I don't know about you, man.
So for someone who doesn't have a strong understanding, what are you getting in this patch? I understand it's probably a new map area, perhaps some new characters. But what are you actually getting when you sign up for this add-on downloadable content?
You're getting a nerdgasm. If you see, they've given us class campaigns and class halls. So every class has its own story that you explore. A lot of things like to intertwine, like some of the class things. Say in the Demon Hunter one, a character gets shot down and they're resurrected later in a dungeon, and so the world feels very interconnected with all these stories. it's great. So even if you don't have, say, a demon hunter, that demon hunter has that piece of the story for you and can tell you that while you're fighting that boss. And that's just, it's so cool that they've really brought the, as they say, the fantasy of the class up to where it should be, and it feels great.
Yeah, this is especially true sort of with the they've given all the classes their own specialized weapons as well, which sort of once again bringing it back to that class fantasy. So paladins get a lot of weapons from that are sort of fairly steeped in lore. Some characters get new weapons that are designed to, I guess, be new lore weapons, and it's all been really cool to see that sort of stuff happen, and making your character feel more part of the story, I guess, would probably be the best way to put it.
That's great. And so, along with these new weapons, I assume you're getting new ways to use them. They've unleashed a whole set of new raids, new quests. How much content are we talking here, like in proportion to some of the stuff that's already been released?
I mean, so we got 5 new questing zones, with, I guess, possible areas left for another 6 or another 1 or 2 to add on to make 6 or 7 total.
Which you can start in any order. Now, you can take them all on in any order you want, which is a vast improvement to what they did with Warlords of Draenor, where everybody was forced to start in the same spot and just became a shit fight as they tried to go through all the story at the same pace. Now they've spread it around, much like it was in the old days, and people can start wherever they want. They're really big on bringing it back to the old days style thing. All right, continue, please, Ix.
And just to build on what you were just saying, to help accommodate that spreading out, everything scales now. Blizzard have introduced a new scaling technology. So if you're a level 100 and your level 110 friend comes along to help you, you're not going to notice a massive disparity where the enemy is at a level 110 power level, I guess.
Right. So they've made it easier for you to have multi-level or, raids with different levels so all your friends can join, whether they've just picked up the patch or if they're more seasoned.
Yeah, and things stay at relatively like the same difficulty level. Of course, you'll get better as you level up. But say you start in a place at 101, and then you level up to 102. All the enemies will level up to 102 to match you.
Okay, this question is probably more down Fox's line of specialty. I've got one for you after this. But Fox, in terms of the lore of World of Warcraft, what does Legion bring? What's the new developments in the plots?
Well, this is kind of a big deal because Azeroth, the planet that we all play on, is the last planet left that hasn't been completely invaded by the Burning Legion or destroyed. We are the last bastion against the darkness.
Wow.
You've got the old enemies have respawned because they're demons and you can only kill them when you're in the Twisting Nether. So all those bosses that you've spent ages killing, they're all back. The alternate dimension Gul'dan has come back. They're bringing characters back. Khadgar's back, and Khadgar's leading your charge with you. You become the leader of your crew of major lore characters. Like paladins will have everything from Lady Liadrin to Ix. You like to play a paladin? Who else do you get?
Lady Liadrin, Sunwalker main guy. Wow, I've forgotten his name. That's really
Desco.
That's him. You also get Turalian's son.
Oh, dude, you get Turalian's son?
Yes.
Damn, son.
Yes, the son.
Yeah, well, so we, as you might tell from how Ix and I are conversing there's just all these characters are coming in for this whole all-star fight against the Burning Legion. The Horde and Alliance are relatively united, and all the side characters, neutral characters, they're all here, all fighting the Burning Legion or otherwise hindering your fight against them, either because of their own selfish reasons or because they've joined the Legion.
Wow, so it sounds like it's really, I mean, it's almost like, where do you go from here, you know? How can they have anything after this? This sounds like it really is quite the peak of the lore in the terms of, you know, literally being the last in the line of an infinite number of parallel worlds. Like, that's crazy.
If you are a big lore fan, it's just a big wank for you, because they're throwing characters in left, right, and center, and you're interacting with them in really satisfying ways. You've got, for Warcraft players, Millhouse Manostorm's wife makes an appearance, locked inside a cage, which the bad guy unlocks, and he's screaming at you to put her back in the cage. And she's who else have we got, X?
One thing I noticed when I was going through my Warlocks thing was that if there's ever been pretty much a named Warlock in lore, we interact with them during our class quest, and that's just the Warlock class quest. You know, let alone there's 11 classes now, 12, 11.
12.
Lots of classes, so every class has their own thing, and it's literally if they've ever been a named character in Warcraft and they're still alive, they're probably around.
Yeah, and if they're still alive, sometimes they get killed.
Too soon, man. Too soon.
Amber.
Odd groups got to left.
Ix, I've got a question for you. I understand that you're heavily involved in some of the raiding communities. What has Legion brought in terms of gameplay or user interface changes or ability changes? What is different raiding in Legion as opposed to raiding in Draenor?
I guess in terms of the actual execution, it's still fairly similar.
Okay. It's interesting that they haven't adapted on the formula too much then. Does that mean that I imagine that they've been sitting on this for quite some time. Like, they haven't introduced any massive, crazy changes over the last couple of expansions, have they?
No, I guess rating's always kind of been the same thing. It's just we're dealing with moving to rating with the mechanical changes with each sort of expansion brings. So with this expansion, weapon drops are no longer a thing. As I was saying earlier, every class gets their own artifact weapon, so that you've always got that one weapon. So it's now just armor drops, which changes it up a little. There's also the way that we're building our artifact weapons up. They're built on their own talent trees now, which does kind of discourage spec swapping a little, which makes that a little bit harder. So if you've built up your dedicated healing spec, you kind of melted into it for a bit.
Okay, that's interesting then. So in terms of the layouts of the dungeons and the areas and the questing areas, the instances, have you seen anything out of the box that has really made you think, wow, this is something else?
Best thing I've seen in Legion, in Legion so far, there's the Maw of Souls dungeon, which is set on basically the WoW equivalent of the ship to Norse Hell.
Right.
So you're actually on a ship, traveling along the River Styx, I guess, and it's moving and rocking, and there's waves in the background, and you get a little bit motion sick. But that was it was unique. It was quite cool. It's definitely one of the more interesting dungeons I've seen so far, and the revamp of Karazhan, which we just got in the new patch, was, oh my god, amazing.
And the community, is this change reflected in the people that you're playing with? Are they excited to be back on? Have you seen some people that you hadn't seen for a while? Are people coming back from a hiatus on WoW?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely seen one guy who haven't seen for about 3 expansions now. He logged on the other day. It was like, oh my god, people are still around. Like, welcome back, son. You were never truly gone.
Yeah, the population has seen a stark increase since the lowest point we've ever had was Warlords of Draenor. It's a busy time. It's so good having so many people around again. The World of Warcraft feels filled again.
That's good to hear. That's really great.
Don't see enough dots. More dots now.
So in terms of changes to the map or the cartography of Azeroth, have we seen any big advances there?
All right. Well, we have a whole new set of islands which are really clumped together. Essentially, it's a new continent. I think by far one of the most impressive things we've seen is the Suramar zone, which has an enormous city of hostile targets that you need to sneak around and do Assassin's Creed stuff in.
Wow.
as part of your questing thing with an amazing story that goes with it. And it's enormous. It's massive. There's things going on all through it. World quests happening everywhere. World quests are things that have replaced daily quests, where you can just pick and choose what you want to do. There's always some fight or some flashpoint going on somewhere on the island. And I might jump into a ghost ship and start blasting the coast in Stormheim, and then I'll decide that I want to cull a bunch of raptors in Azuna. And I can just pick and choose however I want, and I get rewarded. And it shows me the rewards I'm going to get, and so I can progress my character the way I want to by doing those particular things. And it's so nice to see the world filled with things to do after the main quest lines are done.
And the new areas, the Broken Isles is what you're referring to, yeah?
Yeah.
Sweet. I've just pulled up a link to a map of the Broken Isles now, and I can see this enormous, like, port structure from above. Like, it's like a round structure with, like, a broken arch or something.
That would be Surima.
Yes, Surima. What's the go there?
That's the big city we were talking about.
Right, I'm with you.
Yeah, and it's great. Our hub again is Dalaran, which has teleported. It's a flying city which has teleported there, and the Death Knights have brought their flying city of the dead to help out as well. So we've got our flying cities, and we're besieging all the areas that are currently Legion held, and defending anywhere that isn't attacked by the Legion, helping out all the things, trying to keep the world united in the fight against the Legion, and trying to get to the point where they're all coming from, the invasion point, and deal with that, as well as going through this fantastic quest line of them bringing Illidan Stormrage back, a major character, and just trying to find his soul and get it back in his body before Sargeras, the leader of the Burning Legion, uses his body.
An illusion? What are you hiding?
Now, we've heard a lot of very good things tonight about Legion, but I'm sure it can't be 100% good. Like, there's no such thing as perfection. Even if you had to sort of pick at the edges here, what is something that has not been so great about Legion, or something you think they could have improved on in their execution?
Too much trash in dungeons and raids. Trash are the mobs, the groups of enemies in between bosses, the padding.
The baseless minions that throw themselves at you.
Yes, I would say there's maybe a few too many these minions in the way this time around. That's my gripe. How about you, Ix?
I won't lie. A lot of mine are really petty gripes that involve me being selfish and wishing that my class was better. But that's me.
That's perfectly valid in this context. Hit me up.
So yeah, one thing that Blizzard's never been capable of doing is sort of balancing the classes and the specializations of the classes.
Really? After all this time?
Yeah, I don't know if it's an on-purpose thing, or if, to sort of just keep things fresh, or if it's that they really just can't sort of balance it. But like I said, going back to what I was saying earlier, with the Warlock who I raid on, I have 3 specializations. One's all about raining chaotic fire down on my enemies. One's about summoning demons to overwhelm them. The other one's diseases and poisons. I've mostly been focusing on the raining fire down upon everyone, as it's sort of been the best class.
the natural selection.
Yeah, exactly. You just burn everything. It works well. But yeah, the other 2 specs have Demonology, which is the one about summoning demons. It's a really, really strong spec, but mechanically, if you make any mistakes performing your rotation with your abilities, you're doing no damage at all. And Affliction, which is the disease spec, it's basically just pointless at the moment. So if you sort of started playing and went, yeah, I've played Affliction for a while, I'm going to stay with Affliction. You've leveled up Affliction and went, oh wow, I'm doing half the damage that the other guys are doing, and that sort of balance is just, come on guys, get it right, come on.
If you're a more casual player though, these problems aren't really problems. You're just having fun playing the class you like, the way you like. But when you start hitting content like PvP or PvE content, you need the balance, because otherwise, like Ix said, you've got people doing half the damage of everyone else, which makes them a liability if they want to play the way they want to.
Or you've got
Right.
fire mages who are just at the top of the meters without doing any real work. Not that I'm bitter or anything.
Not at all. Not even slightly. So I guess just deviating on a tangent just for a moment here, in terms of the meta around Blizzard at the moment as a company, do you think that losing Chris Metzen as the creative director, do you think this is the last big push for WoW? Do you think that this is going to be their latest and greatest and possibly their last big, huge, positive expansion like this? Do you think that Blizzard right now is at the top of their game with WoW, or do you think that it's just going to get better from here?
Chris Metzen hasn't been working on World of Warcraft for a while. Actually, he has been focused on Overwatch.
Okay, but do you think that? I mean, obviously they would have been working on Legion for a time before it was released, so I imagine he would have had some pretty serious input before then.
His work will carry on with the team, I believe.
I mean, worst case scenario, I'm sure he's still in the same building. He'd be like, Chris, come have a look. Please tell me what you think.
Yeah, he'll still be voicing Thrall, so he's got Goel, so he'll still be chilling around.
Ix, do you think that what we're looking at now is the height of WoW, or do you think that there's still room to improve and it's going to be better next expansion?
I mean, obviously, I hope that future expansions are going to be better. Like, I hope that the game will continue to grow and get better and better. But thus far, Legion has been pretty good. I'll be interested to see if they can maintain the pace. I mean, like I said, we've only been out sort of 3 months, and we've already got our first major content patch. It'll be one of Blizzard's things where they're like, we want to keep moving forward, providing steady streams of content, and I'll be interested to see if they can keep that up. Because if they can, I don't see WoW going anywhere but up.
Yeah, we're a little bit hesitant to look. We were burned with Warlords of Draenor, and they're certainly doing a very good job of earning their goodwill back. So yeah, this is a fantastic first step, and if they keep this up, it can only get better.
Okay, so we're seeing some new cartography, but what about other new stuff in the game? Is there anything else that jumps out at you that they've just included a whole bunch of new content for you guys to enjoy while you're playing?
Voice acting. Oh my god, everything's voice acted, and it's kind of beautiful. It's been really good. They've gotten a lot of sort of big name voice actors in to do a lot of the voice acting. Like, I just so happen to have the IMDb list here in front of me. But you've got fairly big names, like you've got Jennifer Hale, Jim Cummings, Claudia Christensen, Courtney Taylor. You've got a lot of the big guys sort of from the voice acting community doing it, and it really shows that a lot of the voice acting is good. You're not sitting there going, oh wow, this is this isn't House of the Dead 2. This is actually good.
An illusion. What are you hiding?
Okay, so some voice lines do get repeated a little.
Oh, look, sometimes that just can't be avoided. Fox, have you got any thoughts on the audio side of things?
Oh, the music.
You've always been a fan of the WoW soundtrack.
Oh, yes, dude, I've linked you some of the music, and you've adored
it's
it
good.
too.
It is good.
Oh, Russell Brower has done it again. Every time.
I've honestly lost track of the amount of times I've heard Fox call people dirty casuals for not having their music on.
And you know what? That's probably justified. I've heard some of the soundtrack myself, and as Fox has said, and it is astounding. Like, it is absolutely beautiful.
I've called them worse things for keeping their sound off.
I was keeping it G-rated. As I was saying, there are a lot of voice acting lines. A lot of it's really good, but every now and then, you found it in every game. There's always that one or two lines that just stick out, and whether it's bad delivery, bad writing, or whatever, it just sticks out. In the dungeon Halls of Valor, there's a character, God King Scovold, who's he's been trying to beat you to this ancient relic, and you get there and earn it first, and as you're about to collect it, he just runs in screaming, "No, I too am worthy, Odin!" It's just fantastic every time. Just have to take the piss out of it every time.
If they will not yield the Aegis, then I will take it back.
It's fantastic. I love it. And anytime anyone's in Vandal Discord with me when we're running that, they get an earful of that.
Okay, so it's that time of the show. We've got to give this a rating. Nix, we have a rating system on one. Well, Fox has a rating system of 1 to 5 hats. You could pick 1 to 5 anything you like. But Fox, well, actually, Nix, let's hear from you first. What do you give Legion on a 1 to 5?
I'm just looking around my room for a rating scale. 4 out of 5 sunglasses.
4 out of 5 sunglasses. Nice. That's a high ranking. Fox, what's your verdict?
This is it. I'm doing it. 5 out of 5 hats.
It's our first 5 out of 5. That is fantastic.
Every little negative thing about this is just overwhelmed by the pristine finish that has been given to this expansion. They have put in significant effort and it feels really good. I love logging into World of Warcraft every day to chase after another legend. Well, to chase after my first legendary.
Let's not talk legendaries. Bad times.
Maybe it should be 4 out of 5 hats. I haven't got my legendary yet.
It could be worse. You could have got a legendary for the wrong spec.
Don't even joke.
I'm not joking. I did.
You've been listening to Ding, the one-stop shop for MMO podcasting needs. My name is Darth Kcaj. I am joined by my co-host, Dr. Fox. Thank you so much for bringing your expertise to the show, Fox.
No worries. I love doing this.
And a very special thanks to our first-time guest and hopefully subsequent guest as well, Ix.
I will be here whenever you want me because MMOs are kind of my thing.
Thank you so much for coming on. We've had a blast. It was a good game to have you on for too. I'm glad you were here. So that's all for this week, guys. Next week, not sure what we're getting into, but it'll be something fun. So as always, guys, pre-order responsibly. Watch out for those microtransactions. And
turn your sound on. The music is gorgeous.